What was great advice 20 years ago, but definitely isn't now? To look after your phone battery, you should let it go all the way down to 0% and then charge fully to 100%. This is a good one. My 23-years-old nephew thought this was the way to go even now, because his mum had told him. Was visibly surprised when I told him modern batteries were better served by not letting them drop below 15%. Edit. Wow. Thanks for awards. My first. So many questions that I'm not qualified to answer, but so many knowledgeable Redditors have provided great info below. I'll try my best to summarize in response. Almost whatever you do, your battery will perform for about 2 years on a single charge a day. But if you want to get to 4 to 5 years plus on a single charge a day, maintaining 20 to 80% battery is the sweet spot. Overcharging is as damaging as letting the battery run flat. Nearly all new phones have a setting to protect overcharging. On my Galaxy Note 10, Android S12, it's called Protect Battery, and will cap charging at 85%. On Android, open Settings, the cog icon, and use search for Protect. Samsung specifically tells you this setting is to extend battery life. What your battery power display shows isn't necessarily the true state of power. However, the display is what you should work to. That's what manufacturers want you to observe. I don't know enough about the chemistry manufacturer to answer other detailed questions, but there are a considerable number of expert insights in the convos below. I remember when my dad told me as a teenager to never be the one to pursue a guy, because I'm a woman. Maybe that was to keep me safe in my youth, but I've since come to realize that most of the dudes who are worth being with are either shy or oblivious, and I have no choice but to make the first move. You need to memorize this cause you won't have the info accessible later. The most important skill isn't knowing the right answer, it's knowing how to find out the right answer. And that's gotten much easier. With how easy it is to find the right answer these days, I propose that it's much more important to be able to identify the wrong answer. In high school, as part of one of my classes, they brought in a lady who worked HR for some recruiting firm for a few days to teach us how to do resumes and cover letters and such, and she told us even if a place has an option to apply online, always go in person and pick up an application. No one takes online applications seriously. To this day, my mom believes the way to apply for any job is to walk in and hand your future boss your paper resume. Whether or not they're actively hiring. She's not even 60 yet, but calls anyone who applies online a lazy piece of shit, and she doesn't believe I have an actual job because I work from home. She just hates computers. Edit. I guess some people like sorting by new, LMAO. I don't live anywhere near my mom. We don't get along, but if we did live close, she would absolutely assume I'm available all day long. No, I don't know why she hates technology. She thinks it's all a scam. She's the person that would call IT support asking where the any key is. My job is entirely tech-based, and we only meet in person to run inventory quarterly, but she's 1000% under the assumption I work in a diner because that's the family legacy, I guess. Or maybe because I just love diners, so she assumes I work there? I'm uncertain. I was ready to answer this until I realized 20 years ago was 2002 and not 1992. If Smashing Pumpkins released 1979 today, it'd be called 2006. 20 years ago. Don't meet up with people you met on the internet and don't get in cars with strangers. Today. Get into the car with a stranger that you've summoned to your house using the internet. You're searching for a soulmate on the internet? Lord, you must be insane. Met my wife on the internet about 12 years ago, and everyone thought I was making her up until we could afford to fly her out here. Then it was, she's probably scamming you. If she's a scam, best one I ever got caught up in. She's playing the long con. Spending whole day on the internet would never make you successful in life. Said my dad, you can't spend the whole day staring at your computer screen. Nobody is going to pay you to do that. Don't forget to print out your directions from MapQuest before you leave. Stay away from the guy walking down the street having a full conversation with nobody. Now it's just AirPods. Buy that house. Sure, it seems weird that you qualified for such a high home loan, but I'm sure they wouldn't offer it to you if you couldn't afford it. You won't always have a calculator in your pocket. Generic dating advice. People always wonder how some people get to be so creepy, but they forgot that they've been brought up by a generation who thought the best way to get a woman was aggressive flirting techniques, actual stalking, and being overly possessive. Everyone needs a college degree. Trade school is absolutely the way to go for some people, myself included. And I did both.